I'm upset. I'm upset. I am upset. I am upset. I am upset. Why am I upset? Well, I mean, I guess I should not be upset, but at the same time, the question has to be asked. What are we doing? Because if we're not doing a Power Rangers reboot, if we're not going to be doing this Mighty Morphin Power Rangers reboot, from what I hear, if we're not doing this, and we're not using Sentai shows to continue on with Power Rangers, what exactly are we doing? What is the end goal here? For those of you who wonder, what am I even talking about? Let me address something real quick. Now, just today, I want to say it was today, it was announced today that Netflix has officially abandoned the Power Rangers reboot that was going to be planned. Let's read this. The first news in years for the promised Power Rangers reboot series, movie, special, whatever, has dropped, and it isn't good news. According to TVLine.com, Netflix has decided to move on from the Power Rangers reboot, leaving the in-development project in limbo without a partner. The Power Rangers brand was purchased by Hasbro back in 2018 for $500 million from Saban Capital Group, but never quite managed to find sure footing in the entertainment market or the toy aisles. Hasbro has since licensed out of the toy portion of Power Rangers to rival company Playmates, who will offer their first selection of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers toys in 2025. Oh, fucking shit. You know what? Hold on. I'm gonna keep reading before I go into my rant. Okay. With Hasbro selling off their entertainment division, E1, it is very likely that Hasbro will shop off the licensing rights to Power Rangers media as well, using the disappointing development of the Power Rangers reboot series as the catalyst. While the television and toy news for Power Rangers is disappointing, there is still the Boom Studio comics of Power Rangers, which will reportedly go under a reboot themselves this year at the conclusion of the current story arc, as well as the recent announced Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Reader's Rewind retro side-scrolling game. Those, along with the mobile fighting game Power Rangers Legacy Wars, still receiving updates and new characters. The brand is still fighting to find its place. We will keep our eyes and ears out for any news or development with all things Power Rangers. You know, I was planning on doing a video about Super Mario. I was planning on doing that today. But I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed because and you know what? I said this in a video with the Ryder brothers. How is it that you pay all of this money for a license, for the rights of a franchise, an IP, and you're not taking it seriously? This is the same question. This is the same question that I have with other companies like Warner Brothers, with other companies like Disney, with these companies buying these IPs, these famous franchises for all of this money and all these plans to do all of this stuff that no one is asking for. Hardly anyone asked for. But because they had a love for this franchise, they took it anyway because they don't just want to give up on it. But now here's this, and it's low-key pissing me off. And not to say that I was all the way gung-ho for this Power Rangers reboot. I wasn't. I didn't know what they was going to be. I don't even know what they was going to be planning to do with this John Brown thing. There was no word for it. Whether it was going to be like a cartoon series, whether it was going to be a movie, whether it was going to be a live action series, whether it was going to be a live action movie. Nobody knew. Nobody knew the context behind what this reboot could have been. But now, there's no point in even trying to wonder that anymore because it's over. Because it's been canceled. And it's now in development hell. Hasbro. What was the point on even buying Power Rangers? What was the point? To pretend that you're doing something? And don't get me wrong, and you know, I recently just watched a video talking about the Lightning Collection. That's now up in arms. Because we don't even know whether or not Playmates is gonna even continue on with the Lightning Collection. They probably won't. So now people are upset that they won't be able to complete their Ranger teams and or get the Megazords that they wanted. I'm kind of low-key mad because I was still collecting Mighty Morphin while taking care of my adult responsibilities. I was still collecting Mighty Morphin. I told y'all in the chat the last live stream that I had just bought the Scorpina and Yellow Ranger bundle. I just bought that, and I was getting ready to buy the Billy and the Minotaur and the Alien Rangers. I probably am still gonna do it, but still, why do this if this was going to be the overarching result? Why even do this? I will never understand it. This whole talk about y'all moving away from the Sentai and doing your own things, for what? For what? What's the point? What was the point of that now? If this was going to be the overarching result. And in my honest opinion, I know people are going to say that I'm wrong about this. I don't know how you can do that when Power Rangers came from the Sentai. If you take the Sentai away from Power Rangers, what do we have left? What exactly do we have left? I'll tell you this right now. We don't have the money or the budget. We never had the money or the budget to come up with our own Power Ranger stuff. And if we did, we would still be going on, where there wouldn't be this cancellation for the Power Ranger series. We would still keep going. So what even is this? I mean, the overarching theme, the overarching silver lining is that the comics is still being continued. Thank God. We're getting a video game. Thank God. But as far as the toys and the show, which is in my honest opinion, the meat of the franchise, what's the point? What's the point on making these big decisions and now all of a sudden everything's up in arms? Because a toy company, and I still can't believe this, a toy company wants to move away from making toys. What? A toy company wants to move away from making toys. Something's wrong with that statement. Something is truly wrong with what the hell I just said. Now, granted, obviously there's reasons behind this. A lot of people have said the last few things that they've made have not been good quality toys. Good quality material to be used into toys. A lot of times for these products, people have opened the products and they've come completely apart. Like it was cheap fabric. Like I've said again, if this was the ending result, why even make these big plans? Why make these little streams on YouTube talking about the next wave of toys? You you make it so that it's so high priced at the beginning of it. Only then for have guys like me wait for the prices to go down and buy them, and then realize, oh, there's no more coming out. They're done. Or they're giving this to somebody else, and the other toy company is probably gonna be doing their own thing. I don't understand the logic. I'm not saying I know everything, because I don't. But I'm not understanding the basic logic behind all of this. Again, I'm not a businessman. I don't know the first thing when it comes to business. But what I do know is not to waste anybody's money and time. You bought this IP for $500 million, only then for it to go up in smoke. Have almost everything be in development hell. Because the head producer wanted to move away from the place where it came from. And in that same response, had nothing really to show up for it. No other resolving solution. And like I said before in the video that I was talking about Jason David Frank and why he did not like Lord Dragon, why he stepped out of Power Rangers, you have all of these other Ranger teams that you could use. You have all these other people that have played as Rangers you could possibly bring in to make a legit, different, unique Power Rangers series story series. Any kind of story. But what happens? Other productions, small productions like Unworthy Productions and the people that made the Ninja series that forget what the company is. I forget. I'm running on a blank right now. The ones that did Power Rangers Shattered Past. The ones that involved freaking Billy in it. They're doing better. Again, I haven't heard much from them, but it's not a big shocker that they're working. They're probably grinding right now. I shouldn't be shocked by this. I should not at all. But while I am, let's go to like two tweets that I found. So, this is a tweet that I found from Captain Subpar, Jeremy, not Jeremy. I thought this was interesting because he had stated, Power Rangers has been on the back burner for most of its existence, and this is true. Be it Saban, Disney, or Hasbro, owners won't give it the time of day until it magically becomes a smash hit again, but they also won't devote the energy necessary to make it a smash hit. And it's true. And it's true. Whether it have been Saban, Disney, or even Hasbro, all three of those companies make it seem like Power Rangers is still this small, little, insignificant IP that no one really cares about. But then once they see it becomes a smash hit, then they want to go in. But there's no really, there's no energy to really, be passionate and like devote their time into making the best it could possibly be. Power Rangers should be bigger than what it is now. I said that before. Power Rangers should be leaps and bounds of what it is right now. But for these companies, they don't think that it should be. They don't feel as though that it is a big thing. And I will never understand it. I'll never understand it. Ever. Saban, when Mighty Morphin came out, do you understand that it was a juggernaut of a wave of people that loved it? Disney, do you realize the kind of love that you had from people who loved Power Rangers when y'all had it? And Hasbro, god damn it, you made a lot of people pissed off and angry at you because of this. You dropped the biggest ball you could ever have. Maybe if you actually had focused your time, your love and money for this IP, you wouldn't have lost all of that money. You wouldn't now all of a sudden stop being a freaking toy company. If you had actually devoted the time, for all three of you, if you had actually devoted the time and the proper care for this franchise, things would be better. I guarantee it would have been better. It's not a joke. I swear on you, on everything that I love, it would have been the best it possibly could be. But y'all don't see, your vision is clouded, and I don't understand it. And then he said, I'd go smaller. Playmates having the toys is a good start. You're more likely to get quality and ingenuity from a company whose bottom line is more dependent on the success and relativity of view IPs. So weirdly enough, the lack of Netflix involvement could be good news. Now, while I'm not sure about that, he has a point. Because if we're going to be starting from ground zero, it might as well be from people who can actually devote their time and actually have the quality and like he said, the ingenuity to do better by this franchise. Maybe then it would be better. Maybe. Maybe then things would be better. You know? Like, I just don't. The level of just carelessness that Hasbro has done, and even then with this tweet that I just found as well, by Captain Dawes M. Don Dawes M. Ryder. Uh, Hasbro has undoubtedly fumbled things with PR, but the fans tend to oversimplify it like Hasbro is a villain for a movie tanking things on purpose. In reality, I think it's in the result of both poor decisions and some very bad time and circumstances out of their control. Making videos about the evolving Hasbro Power Rangers situation is never fun because I'm constantly accused of being a Hasbro apologist simply for looking at all other angles. I'm not on Hasbro's side, I'm just on the side of common sense. Well, I'll say this. The common sense for this whole thing would be, if you're gonna buy an IP for $500 million, you can't just not take it seriously. You can't just move away from the thing that made it what it was. And Hasbro isn't the villain. The brand Hasbro is not the villain at all. It is the people behind it that are making these poor decisions, like he said. And because of those poor decisions, they have no choice but to let it go and give it to somebody else. Which is the same thing that Disney did, and it's the same thing that Hasbro did. It's like every time that this is just the curse that Power Rangers unfortunately has. Every time somebody gets a hold of Power Rangers, for some fucking reason, they think that they don't have to do the work. They don't have to do the extra devotion to it in order for it to make the money that they bought it for. Only then to give it to somebody else because they can't hold on to it anymore. All I'm saying is, Saban, Disney, and Hasbro, y'all had the chance. You had the chance to be bigger than what you are. But for some reason, y'all just thought it wasn't worth it. And that's the way I'm looking at it. Some reason y'all just decided that it just wasn't worth all that. So you give it up. And I said this about Disney. I said this about Disney as well. How can you have bought the premium toolbox with all the tools in it, all the necessary equipment, all the necessary nails, and instead of using that toolbox that you literally bought, you put it up on a shelf and use a different toolbox? How does that make sense? You buy it only for it to look pretty, and you come up with different ideas without using that toolbox. What? I don't know what the future holds for Power Rangers. I guess this is just gonna be one of those things where we take a very, very, very long hiatus off of Power Rangers and just wait till the next person gets a hold of it. The next company gets a hold of it, and we see what they do with it. I don't know if we're ever going to get out of this this cycle of companies that's just not wanting to take this this IP serious and do minimal effort to it. I don't know if we're ever going to get out of that loop, but I'll still be here. It's just that hearing this news it just made me upset because I said what I said about Power Rangers Super Sentai. But the truth of the matter is I genuinely want Power Rangers to be better. It's what I grew up on. It's what I loved at first. And it's how I found out about the Super Sentai. Without Power Rangers, I would not know anything about the Super Sentai. Or Tokusatsu, period. This can't be the cycle for Power Rangers. This has to stop. This franchise deserves better than what it's being treated. It deserves better. It honestly does. And they know they can do better. These companies know they can do better. But the fact that they just choose not to and then get upset when people don't support them makes no sense. If you want our support, do better. Do better. That's it. That's it. This ain't even a matter of blaming somebody. Just do better. If you're gonna buy, like I said, I'm gonna keep saying, if you're gonna buy something for all that money, do right behind it. You want our money? You want us to buy all this shit? You want us to go to these movies, these things and all that? Do better. That's all. That's all. Stop trying to make a freaking statement off of everything. This is entertainment. You bought this for entertainment. We're consuming it for entertainment, not for some stupid ass agenda or change. We like what we like because we love it, not because it represents something. We just like it. And that goes for any company with this notion of they have to have a meaning behind. Just give us what we want, what we are paying for. That's all. That's all I gotta say. For any of those companies that are planning on buying these famous IPs, just give us what we want. You know what these people want. You know what these people we're willing to pay for. Just do it. That's it. This is Master Sakurai. I'm gonna get up out of here. Y'all have a good day. Peace.